Why is this streamer impossible to cancel?
Help! 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 Break the window! Oh! 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 Can you hold it? Oh! Oh! No, my car, bro.
Jack Daugherty is in the news again after crashing a $200,000 McLaren. Aside from potential lawsuits, injury, and hate for neglecting to take care of his own cameraman, the worst news for Jack is that he is now banned from the streaming platform Kick. But there's something that Aiden Ross said about Jack Daugherty, the streamer, that proves he can't really be canceled. For some of you, you might think this doesn't sound like a big deal being kicked off of Kick. But for Jack, this could be life-threatening. This is the equivalent of telling McDonald's they can no longer sell Big Macs or fries. But before we get into that, how did this crash actually happen? During a live stream, when Jack was driving, he was reading his comments on the interstate, and while doing so, lost control of the car and crashed into the guardrail. I mean, to film yourself on your phone right before you crash is not a good look, okay? But it gets worse. The car quickly starts smoking, and people who witness the crash have to pull over and actually pull Jack and his cameraman out of the car. And of course, after this happened, social media was flooded with videos talking about how everyone hates Jack, right? And this makes total sense. Okay, this might be a very unpopular opinion, but I actually like Jack Daugherty. Let me explain. He reminds me of a friend I had in high school, and everyone in the friend group had a problem with him. And one of my friends pulled me aside saying, "How do you have so much patience for this one person?" My answer was basically, I don't take him too seriously. Now, obviously, with the situation where he's driving, this is another story, but let me try and explain to some of you how I see this situation. If a baby knocks something over, do you get upset or angry at the baby? No, if anything, you get upset at yourself for having that next to the baby. But you don't get mad at the baby because it doesn't know any better. All right, what I'm about to say could come across very poorly, so I'm sorry in advance. I might even cut this out of the video. I don't think Jack is working with the same equipment as most of us. Like, I don't think he has the ability to process his choices. For example, if you were to hook him up, forgive me, this could be wrong. This is how I see it. If you hook his brain up to an MRI machine, as well as someone else's, a normal person, if you showed maybe some kind of clip or something that would register in a normal person's brain, I don't think Jack's MRI scan would show the same brain activity. I feel like that's really bad to say. This is just how I see the situation. It's just he doesn't have the ability to understand. Now, obviously, the terrible part is when you're on the road, when you're driving, you're at risk and you're endangering other people behind the wheel. I'm saying I like Jack pre-OF arc, if you know what I mean. But lately, some of his actions have been, beyond repair. So why can't Jack be canceled? I saw this comment on the video, and people almost subconsciously know he can't get canceled, right? In all caps, time to cancel this nerd who almost killed someone. There's almost this doubt, right? There's almost this feeling of helplessness. Like, we have to do something about it. Not we will, but like we should. And there's a big difference between will and should. I almost consider it an unconscious fear that Jack is like immune to getting canceled. And I want to talk about why that is based on what Aiden Ross said. But before that, if you're enjoying this video, consider subscribing. This is crazy. 99.6% of you guys aren't subscribed. I bet that's the worst analytic that you've seen in a while on YouTube. But I'm going to be doing more videos like this in the future. There won't be any sports videos, but I'm excited to make more content for you guys that you enjoy and grow with you guys. But let's get back into it. So let me set the context on why he can't be canceled. 4 years ago, there was this cooking YouTuber posted a video exposing this network of cooking YouTube channels for essentially being a content farm. Bear with me. She explained that this one company had over 50 channels and they were in the Philippines, and they clickbaited the crap out of every video without really delivering on anything. Now, I watched this video today, and it was made 4 years ago. So I was curious to see how this content farm Mr. Cakes would be doing. Now, you would assume because this video has millions and millions of views that YouTube would have stepped up and shut down all the channels and shut down the content farm for obviously violating community guidelines. But although some of the channels were taken down, the channel Mr. Cakes is bringing in at least $8,000 a month. Now, I'm sure that doesn't touch anywhere close to what they were at, but this is crazy. If you compare that to how the cooking lady was doing, essentially doing everything the correct way, she's making less, which is crazy. YouTube is rewarding Mr. Cakes regardless. And this is my point. As much as I hate to say it, math is math at the end of the day. Of course, what Jack did was unforgivable. He might even see a temporary drop in views. And there's a lot of comments on his video talking about how terrible he is. But if you start to scroll down a little bit more, you see his fan base and you see how solid it is. It's almost like that one verse that God gives sunlight to both the evil and the good, and he sends rain on the just and the unjust alike. I just believe Jack will always be able to survive and live above his means for the rest of his life. That is not fair, but that is the way it is. And I feel like most people know this. Like, the comments are apathetic. They kind of know he won't get canceled. And this leads us to Aiden Ross's comment. For those of you who don't know, Aiden Ross is what I consider to be Jack Daugherty's older brother in darkness, in the dark arts. But regardless, I want to paint this picture. If anyone has insight on this situation, it is Aiden Ross. Imagine being in high school and all you're thinking about is how to blow up on YouTube. Your life is dedicated to entertaining teenagers in the US, and you are willing to do whatever it takes to do that. Now, from this mindset, you've made millions and millions of dollars online and have been doing this for years and years, uploading hundreds and hundreds of videos. If anyone has insight into the Jack Daugherty situation, it is Aiden Ross. This is what he says. Yo, Jack, just remember, buddy, now you really have to pay me $200,000 if you want to be unbanned on Kick. I'm just letting you know right now, you want to get unbanned on Kick, you want to follow your OF girls, you want to get your crap back, now you got to really pay. Okay, think about this. When Aiden first heard about this situation, imagine all this information being processed through the lens of what I just said, like that. And this is how he starts. Yo, Jack, just remember, buddy, if Jack Daugherty was at any risk of being canceled, Aiden's response would have been like, you're done. That's it. You're done. Like, goodbye. But the fact that Jack could essentially just buy his way out of this almost proves that he can't get canceled. I mean, obviously, okay, unless something comes out about some underage stuff or maybe some leaked chats, I think Jack Daugherty is cancel proof. Sure, it might set him back financially a couple months, but even if it does a couple years, he'll never be working at McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like, he'll never be canceled. You know what I mean? He'll always find a way. And this is hard for me to say, but Jack does work hard. I mean, he's uploaded thousands of videos to his YouTube channel. Like, think of how many people you know that have the discipline over years to upload, to be that consistent and to stream almost every day. I mean, here is a rant of him talking about how hard he works.
I'm the only one here working. I'm the only one here working. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I do. Because I have bills every month. I have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars every fucking month, and it's stressful. And you understand how it feels in my position. I don't want to stream right now. I don't. It drives me insane. I streamed 150 hours last month, and it's a side thing. That's not even my main thing. And I have to deal with everyone around me fucking bitching 24/7 to make my life harder after I hand them everything. I hand everybody everything and do everything for everybody. You guys even don't have to book a single thing. I do everything.
Now, will Jack learn from this? I don't know, like I said, if he has the capacity to do that. I think this wasn't near death enough for him to reflect, especially with how crazy his lifestyle is. I mean, just think of what Jack goes through on a daily basis. Like, the amount of drama compared to the average person, like, his brain has adapted to that threshold, to that waterline. Imagine how traumatic a memory would have to be for Jack to remember it a year or two later. It'd have to be life or death, really. And this is truly the enigma of Jack Daugherty. Wicked dumb, endangering the lives of people, but also wicked smart. I mean, you got to give him his flowers in the business sense. But I think the worst part about this is the cameraman. I mean, he dislocated his shoulder being pulled out of the car. He got hit with the camera in the crash. Like, that is brutal. That's terrible. And I think Jack should do more to support his homie. But if you thought this video was crazy of Jack Daugherty, he is also being sued because his security guard landed an absolute haymaker on some random guy at a party. If you want to see that, check out this video right here. I'll see you there.